Emotional intelligence at work. Emotional intelligence, or EI, is one of the most overlooked yet powerful drivers of professional success. In today's dynamic workplace, technical knowledge alone is no longer enough. The ability to understand and manage your own emotions, and to navigate the emotions of others, is critical to thriving in teams, managing stress, leading effectively, and building strong relationships. This course will explore the core components of emotional intelligence, including self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. You'll learn what EI is and why it has become a foundational competency across industries. We'll discuss how emotional intelligence impacts collaboration, conflict resolution, and decision-making under pressure. Most importantly, this course will give you practical tools to develop your own emotional intelligence, starting with reflection and extending to real-time strategies for growth. Whether you're an individual contributor or stepping into leadership, mastering emotional intelligence will elevate both your personal impact and professional trajectory. Agenda. This course will explore the essential elements of emotional intelligence and how they directly impact your professional success. We'll begin by answering a foundational question. What is emotional intelligence? From there, we'll examine the 5 key components that define EI: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Next, we'll focus on why emotional intelligence matters in the workplace. You'll see how high EI enhances productivity, collaboration, and leadership, while low EI can lead to costly misunderstandings and disengagement. We'll compare EI to IQ and explore why emotional intelligence is often a stronger predictor of professional outcomes. The course then shifts to action. You'll learn how to build EI skills step by step, how to apply them in team settings, and how EI shapes effective leadership. We'll also explore how to use EI in high-stress environments and how organizations can foster a culture of emotional intelligence. Finally, we'll conclude with practical takeaways you can use immediately. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence, or EI, is the capacity to recognize, understand, manage, and influence emotions, both your own and those of others. The concept was first brought into the spotlight by psychologist Daniel Goleman. Since then, it has evolved into a widely accepted core competency in professional environments. Emotional intelligence is not about being emotional. It's about being emotionally smart. It enhances how you relate to colleagues, customers, and stakeholders. By strengthening relationships, improving communication, and increasing resilience, EI plays a critical role in how effectively you lead, collaborate, and respond to stress. Whether navigating team dynamics, giving feedback, or managing conflict, emotionally intelligent professionals bring clarity and empathy to high-stakes situations. In technical fields where data and logic dominate, EI is the soft skill amplifier that boosts trust, collaboration, and performance. Ultimately, emotional intelligence is the human operating system behind all successful professional interaction. 5 key components of EI. Daniel Goleman identified 5 interrelated components of emotional intelligence that are essential to workplace success. First, self-awareness. This means recognizing your emotions as they arise, understanding your emotional triggers, and being aware of your personal tendencies. Second, self-regulation. This is about managing stress, controlling impulses, and maintaining composure during pressure-filled situations. Third, motivation. A strong inner drive to achieve goals with energy, persistence, and focus, even in the face of setbacks. Fourth, empathy. The ability to understand and connect with the feelings and needs of others, an essential skill in team and client interactions. And finally, social skills. These include communication, collaboration, conflict resolution, and the ability to influence others effectively. Together, these 5 components form a powerful framework for developing emotional intelligence that applies across disciplines and industries. Engineers and scientists who build these skills will communicate more clearly, lead more effectively, and operate more successfully in cross-functional environments. Self-awareness and self-regulation. Self-awareness begins with recognizing your emotional state in real time, knowing what you're feeling and why. This includes identifying both strengths and areas for improvement, along with understanding your values and internal motivators. With self-regulation, the focus shifts to control. Specifically, the ability to manage impulsive reactions, navigate stress, and remain calm under pressure. For instance, imagine receiving tough feedback on a project. A person with low EI might become defensive or shut down, but a self-aware professional would recognize the frustration rising, acknowledge it internally, and shift perspective to see the feedback as an opportunity to improve. Then, using self-regulation, they might pause, breathe, ask clarifying questions, and respond constructively. These emotional management skills are especially critical in technical environments where stress, deadlines, and collaboration are constant. Practicing self-awareness and regulation daily can elevate decision-making, reduce reactivity, and build trust with colleagues and leadership alike. Motivation, empathy, social skills. Motivation, within the EI framework, refers to the internal drive to pursue goals with energy, persistence, and purpose. It's not just about hitting deadlines or checking boxes, it's about maintaining focus, even when challenges arise. Empathy goes beyond sympathy. It's about actively sensing others' emotional states, understanding their perspectives, and responding appropriately, even if you disagree. This is essential in team settings, client interactions, and cross-cultural communication. Finally, social skills involve effectively managing relationships through strong communication, active listening, conflict resolution, and positive influence. Consider a project leadership scenario. A motivated leader inspires the team through tough phases, uses empathy to detect when members feel overwhelmed, and applies social skills to resolve disputes between departments. Together, these three elements create a synergy that enables technical professionals to move from competent contributors to influential leaders. They transform raw intellect into collaborative, human-centered action. Why emotional intelligence matters at work. Emotional intelligence is the glue that binds technical skills, teamwork, and leadership in any organization. Studies show that EI contributes to more than 58% of job performance across all industries, not just soft skill dependent ones. High EI professionals are better at teamwork because they build rapport and trust easily. They also make stronger leaders by inspiring others, managing stress, and communicating clearly. Emotional intelligence enhances resilience, helping individuals adapt and recover quickly from setbacks. It also improves customer satisfaction by fostering empathetic communication and service. Decision-making improves as well, because emotionally intelligent individuals can navigate complex interpersonal dynamics with clarity. Conflict resolution becomes more productive. Issues are addressed without escalating tension. Emotional intelligence enables smoother collaboration across teams and departments. In today's interconnected workplaces, EI is no longer optional. It's essential for delivering consistent, human-centered performance in environments shaped by change, speed, and complexity. The cost of low emotional intelligence. Low emotional intelligence in the workplace carries significant consequences. Frequent conflicts and misunderstandings arise when people misread each other's emotional cues or respond reactively. Micromanagement and poor delegation often occur when managers lack the emotional insight to trust and empower others. Unchecked stress can lead to burnout, harming both productivity and employee well-being. Resistance to feedback or change stems from low self-awareness and defensiveness, two hallmarks of low EI. And over time, a toxic culture can emerge, leading to high turnover and a reputation that repels talent. Even professionals with high IQs and technical expertise can suffer when their EQ is underdeveloped. In fact, they may struggle more, because they underestimate how essential emotional skills are to influence, collaboration, and leadership. In engineering-driven organizations, a lack of EI is often the silent barrier that blocks otherwise brilliant teams from reaching their full potential. Emotional intelligence versus IQ. While IQ might get you through the door, EQ often determines how far you rise in your career. Intelligence quotient, or IQ, reflects cognitive abilities like reasoning, logic, and memory. These are foundational for any technical profession. However, IQ alone does not predict job success. Emotional intelligence, how well you understand and manage emotions, has a much broader impact. Studies show that EQ accounts for over 58% of performance in all job types. That's because most professional challenges involve people, not just tasks. Emotional intelligence enables smoother communication, better conflict resolution, and more adaptive leadership. It also helps professionals remain calm under pressure, accept feedback, and motivate teams through uncertainty. In high-tech environments, where innovation depends on collaboration, EQ often becomes the differentiator. Ultimately, the combination of IQ and EQ is what makes someone not just competent, but impactful and promotable. Building emotional intelligence. Self-awareness. Cultivating self-awareness is the first and foundational step in developing emotional intelligence. Begin with daily reflection. Take a few moments each day to think about what emotions you experienced, what triggered them, and how you responded. This practice builds pattern recognition over time. Physical awareness is equally important. Notice how your body reacts in stressful moments. Are your shoulders tense? Is your breathing shallow? These physiological cues are early warning systems. To gain an external perspective, seek feedback from trusted peers. Ask questions like, how did I come across in that meeting? Finally, use an emotion journal to capture and analyze your experiences. Write down the emotions you felt, their triggers, the behaviors that followed, and how you'd handle it differently next time. These practices build a deeper understanding of your emotional landscape, making you more grounded, self-aware, and responsive in the fast-paced demands of your technical career. Self-regulation strategies. Self-regulation is the bridge between awareness and behavior. It's how you apply emotional insight to maintain composure, even under pressure. One key strategy is breathing techniques. Deep, intentional breathing reduces stress and activates your body's calming systems. Another is delaying reaction. A deliberate pause before responding allows your rational brain to re-engage. Next, practice labeling your emotions accurately. Instead of saying, "I'm mad," try, "I'm feeling unappreciated." This precision helps in processing and choosing a better response. A great exercise to implement is the pause and label technique. When triggered, pause and take 3 deep breaths. Identify exactly what you're feeling, and then select your response thoughtfully. The benefits of mastering self-regulation are wide-ranging: better decision-making under pressure, fewer workplace conflicts, increased trust from colleagues, and lower personal stress. Ultimately, it enables more consistent leadership and more resilient teamwork in any high-stakes, high-tech environment. Motivation, empathy, and social skills development. To strengthen motivation, set meaningful goals that go beyond just numbers, goals tied to personal or team purpose. Focus on progress, not perfection, and celebrate small wins to build momentum. For empathy, practice listening without interrupting. Ask clarifying questions about how others feel and acknowledge emotions even when you disagree. These small acts make others feel seen and valued. With social skills, focus on active listening, learn to give constructive feedback, and build rapport through genuine interest in others. Practice scenarios like a feedback conversation role-play to develop communication muscle memory. One effective strategy is the Learn, Practice, Reflect cycle. Each week, pick one EI skill, learn about it, practice it intentionally, and reflect on how it went. Over time, this structured growth builds emotional fluency. For engineers and scientists, These people-centered skills unlock the full potential of technical expertise, turning problem solvers into respected collaborators and leaders. Emotional intelligence in leadership. Emotionally intelligent leaders inspire rather than intimidate. They don't rely on fear or pressure to drive results. Instead, they uplift and motivate. They adapt their approach based on individual personalities and working styles, customizing how they lead different team members. They resolve conflict by creating dialogue rather than tension. When communicating change, they do so with clarity and compassion, reducing resistance and building trust. For example, a technical leader facing a project setback might openly acknowledge the team's frustration, adjust their leadership approach based on each person's needs, and shift the team's focus from blame to solutions. By creating psychological safety, the team feels empowered to innovate. In logic-driven fields like engineering, this emotional agility brings a human edge to leadership, connecting strategy with empathy and metrics with meaning. Emotional intelligence is what makes leadership not only more effective, but more sustainable and more respected by those being led. Emotional intelligence in team settings. In team environments, especially those that are cross-functional or multicultural, emotional intelligence is the key to cohesion and productivity. It bridges communication gaps, helping members understand different cultural or departmental communication styles. This avoids misinterpretation and strengthens collaboration. Emotional intelligence also fosters psychological safety, creating an atmosphere where people feel safe to speak up, offer ideas, and take creative risks. When team members don't fear judgment, innovation flourishes. Additionally, EI encourages diverse thinking, allowing for multiple perspectives to coexist respectfully and constructively. Rather than suppressing differences, emotionally intelligent teams harness them. As a result, innovation increases, productivity rises, and team members feel more valued. One practical example is a diverse product team that intentionally listens to all voices, leading to more inclusive and inventive solutions. In today's collaborative workplaces, emotional intelligence transforms smart groups into truly high-performing teams. Developing a culture of emotional intelligence. To embed emotional intelligence into an organization, deliberate strategies must be implemented. Begin with training and coaching across all levels, from new hires to executives, so that EI development is consistent and structured. Then, integrate EI into performance reviews, making emotional competencies a formal part of evaluation criteria. Encourage reflective practices like journaling or peer feedback to promote continuous self-awareness. It's also vital to reward collaboration, not just individual output. Recognizing team success reinforces collective emotional responsibility. These efforts lead to measurable outcomes, higher employee retention, because people feel valued, stronger team morale, because members are emotionally attuned, and better stakeholder relationships, driven by empathy and communication. Additionally, a culture of emotional intelligence supports more effective change management and fosters innovation by creating psychological safety. This type of environment isn't just productive, it's human-centered, resilient, and future-ready. Emotional intelligence in high-stress environments and conclusion. In high-stress environments, emotional intelligence becomes a stabilizing force. Leaders and professionals with high EI can remain calm under pressure, maintaining focus during crises. They respond constructively to failure, using setbacks as learning opportunities instead of triggers for blame. EI also enhances cross-functional communication, helping teams break through organizational silos and hierarchies. The overall takeaway is clear. In a world dominated by systems, data, and deadlines, emotional intelligence transforms how we operate. It turns basic coordination into true cooperation, transforms pressure into resilience, and turns individuals into community-minded contributors. It makes technical skills more usable, leadership more sustainable, and workplaces more human. For new graduates in engineering and science, developing emotional intelligence may be one of the most strategic career investments you can make. It's the edge that bridges expertise with influence and ensures your work has both precision and impact.